Yo, what is up, everybody? Ceresco back again. Another chapter from the collection titled Words and Most Deathly, Short Stories to Chill You, written by Katie Moore 13. Remember to use the links in the description below. Show love to the author. Like, comment, subscribe. Story number 12, As They Watch. A soft shuffle, the rustle of fabric against the floor, signaled the spirit's arrival. Even through the curtains of her sleep, Laura could feel its intrusive presence. She twitched and murmured, but didn't wake. She was all too used to it. It had followed her from her suburban neighborhood home to another suburban neighborhood home, one that belonged to her grandparents, a home where the small 12-year-old girl slept on the sofa. It had followed her. It always followed her. It appeared slowly, a shadow in the corner of the room that formed slowly into a woman. She was tall, stately, beautiful in a way, but also ghostly, frightening. Her skin was translucent, her face skull-like, framed by deep brown ringlets. Her eyes were almost colorless, but they shone and glittered even in the dark. She didn't move silently, but with a continuous soft rustle as her black Victorian gown brushed the carpeted ground. The spirit stood over Laura's still sleeping body, watching her. Gazing at this tiny, precious thing she held in her hands, the girl wouldn't wake. The spirit wasn't here to wake her, to frighten her, or any such thing. He was just there to watch. A thump, creak, a footstep came from upstairs. The spirit tensed, his eyes snapping at the closed door. This wasn't right. No one should be awake. Laura and her grandparents had all gone to bed hours ago. This was something else. The spirit flitted out of the living room and up the stairs. A black figure, not another spirit. This figure was undeniably human, was moving down the hallway at a quick, careful pace. The pace of a man who didn't want to be caught. The pace of an intruder, a robber. Her fingers flew to her belt. Technically speaking, the weapon she carried was no more real than she was, but felt like metal. Cold, sharp, cutting, real metal. He flitted, moving like a frame-by-frame shot in a movie. The robber sensed nothing, hoisting his gun as he crept ever closer to grandparents' bedroom. One cut, that's all it would take. The robber would feel only a slight biting pain, no worse than the horsefly or an ant sticking its teeth into its neck. And that would be the end of him. He would not be able to hurt Laura or any of her family. But the spirit stopped. That was not her place. That she was not there to threaten, to kill, or any such thing. She was just there to watch. But that didn't mean she couldn't keep Laura safe. Of course, she would keep Laura safe. He turned, and there was a second spirit, floating patches of darkness that gathered themselves to human form. This particular spirit was a man. dressed in the uniform of a Union Army officer in the Civil War. Just like hers, his skin was translucent and his eyes colorless. And just like her, a strange mercicord blade hanging at his side. The name tag on his weather-worn jacket read Nolan. He nodded to Nolan, saying much with a simple gesture. It was cordial enough, but clearly a threat. Get out of my house and away from my ward, or I have to take action. He nodded back. If you attack my ward, I will harm you back. The robber reached the door. The spirit glared. Call him off. Call him off now. Nolan gave a bravely perceptible shake of his head. No. The spirit snaked around the robber, flitting through grandparents' door. Them, she was not forbidden to wake. In their case, she was not just here to watch. In their case, she was not here at all. They would not fear her presence. They had spirits of their own. They could see them huddled in the corners as she could feel their approval. Their spirits were getting antsy. They were getting hungry. But they knew now not was the time. Not yet. Soon, unfortunately. But not yet. And certainly, they understood the need to protect Laura. Though they will not discern her presence, they still held power over them. All it took was a single touch to rouse them both. Franklin, there's somebody in the house. Franklin then went for the shotgun in his closet without even needing to reply. Helen, his wife, reached for the bedside phone, dialed 911. Franklin shouted loudly, boldly, to the man on the other side of the door that he had a gun. The police were coming. The robber, just as the spirit had guessed, was a coward, and he ran for the cracked window, down Franklin's voice. Nolan gave his fellow spirit a murderous glance as she passed. He didn't care. All that mattered was that her ward was safe. Lauren was a bit shaken up by the chaos, an eventful arrival, the police, but she was a resilient young girl and was asleep again very soon. The spirit was free to watch her again, because that is what they do. They watch. The concept of guardian angels has been around forever. It's hard to say exactly where the concept of a personal guardian came from, as even Judeo-Christian texts only mention angels watching over humans in a general sense. Maybe we came up with the story because, at some level, we knew the truth. We feel them. But the story gets it just a little bit wrong. The Reapers, as they are called by some, are hardly angels. They are here to watch us, yes, but if we knew why they were here to watch us, protect us, most of us would only be afraid of them. Laura's guardian spirit brushed the girl's hair. Her precious ward still had many, many good years ahead of her. There would be thousands more nights for her to stand in a darkened corner and watch she was supposed to. Doubtless there would be any more intrusions she would have to fend off, but she would fend them all off in the end. She knew this because it was all part of the plan. It was the order of things, A time for everything and everything in its time. Everyone, too. There would come a night when she would not protect Laura anymore. And she would not want to protect Laura more. Laura's time would come someday, and then one small cut from her ghostly mercy cord would free her soul from her body. The Reapers are our guardian angels, but they are also the dark presence that disrupt us in the night and make us shiver. They are the harbingers of good and of ill. They watch over us, protect us from harm, because we are their prizes. One day, our lives will be theirs to take, and theirs alone. Until then, they can only watch. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the end of story 12.